Hi, and welcome to our IEW writing sentence openers. And today we are specifically going to look at just one of those. And in future videos, we will go over some of the others. But I want to start with a paragraph, and I want you to try to figure out what is wrong with it. So we're going to read this together. And just be thinking in your head what might be wrong with it. The boy walked to the store. He bought milk and cheese. He paid for the milk and cheese. He walked home a different way. He went through the forest. The boy was a little scared of the forest. He hurried to get home. He finally got home. Okay, when I work with students of all ages, one of the consistent problems that I have is that sometimes I am circling the same word, and my comment to the student will be, try to think of different words that you can use here. The biggest problem comes in the way that we start our sentences, the first couple of words of a sentence. The boy, he, he, the boy, he, and he. So I've used he like 5 or 6 times, and I've used the boy a couple of times. It makes our paragraphs a little boring. And so we want to try to think of some ways that we can potentially change this and get rid of the boring. So he and the boy are a problem when they are used over and over. So just like with our dress-ups, we try to find boring adjectives, not so great verbs, and we try to make those better. So instead of putting the horse runs in the field, we might say the horse gallops. Instead of saying the red sky, we might say the maroon colored ribbons in the sky. We look for a little bit more description. And so the way that we start our sentences, the beginning words of a sentence, are no exception. And we want to have some variety. So after you've learned the dress-ups, which I assume you have at this point, then we move on talking about a different thing to change up our paragraphs a little bit, and that is the sentence openers. And we want to give variety in the way that we open our sentences, to open with a subject and verb. He went, he walked, he paid. It gets very boring. And so that is one of the ways that you can open a sentence, but we want to think of different ones. So there's 5 other ones. Down here's the subject opener. It certainly is a valid choice, but we want to have some variety. So there are several others. We have sentences that can start with an ing word, like singing in the shower. She sounded beautiful. We can start with ly words, like fortunately, Mom was at home when the delivery was made. We can start with clausal words, which we know from our dress-ups, but we might say something like, when the dog tried to go outside, the door was not open. Prepositional phrases, we know what those are, and that's what we're actually going to talk about today. And then a very short sentence. And something like if we were to describe the boy in the boy that was walking home, our very short sentence could be this last one. He finally got home. It has to be 5 or fewer words, and so this would work. He finally got home. That's a good, very short sentence at the end of a paragraph. But today we're talking about the prepositional opener. So let's get to that one. Our prepositional opener is always fun. I love prepositional phrases, and I find this one to be super easy. So let's look at a sentence that has a prepositional phrase. The boy ate, and let me fix my spelling here. The boy ate pizza in the kitchen. Well, where is the prepositional phrase? It is in the kitchen. So we know that our prepositional phrase is in the kitchen, and there's not a problem at all if we move that. So let's take a look at the next slide. The boy ate pizza in the kitchen. We've identified that in the kitchen is the prepositional phrase, so we're actually just going to pick up the whole thing and put it in front. In the kitchen, the boy ate the pizza. And there we have a different way to open our sentence. Now, I know that my elementary students love prepositional phrases for many reasons, and so there should not be any problem using this one, but let's do a little practice. So the first one, the cat slept under the couch. Well, we are going to catch this right here, and I like to highlight or put it in certain colors, so I'm going to make it red, and I'm actually going to cut this from here, and I'm going to put it at the beginning, just like that. Now I have to fix my capital under the couch, and I probably should put a comma, and I'm going to fix it just like that, except this should be the black font. There we go. So I have picked it up and I've moved it. Now let's look at the next one. The tiger ate steak in his habitat. So I'm going to pick this up. I'm going to make it red. Or no, let's make this one green. We'll make it green. And I am going to pull it out of there. I'm going to cut it and I'm going to put it at the beginning because it's a sentence opener. And there we have it. In his habitat, the tiger ate steak. I'll fix my capitals. I'll put a comma there, and I'll change that to a small, a lowercase, and there we have our sentence all fixed. And then finally, Mom cooked dinner on the grill. Well, we all know our prepositions, and so right there on the grill, and I am going to change that one. I'll change that one to a, how about purple? Everybody likes purple. And I'm going to cut that one. I'm going to carry it over here to the opener. Remember, at the beginning of the sentence is where I want to put these, on the grill. And I actually don't have to cook Mom, or cooked Mom. Yeah, that would be fun, cooking Mom. I don't have to change the capitalization there. So, on the grill, Mom cooked dinner. Now, you might be asking, okay, well, how do I do these in my writing? They don't have colors like the dress-ups do. Your dress-ups have colors, and I've probably confused you with these. So I'm actually going to change this all back now to the dark color font so that I don't confuse you. I just mainly did that to draw your eye to them. Sentence openers do not have colors. Let's all say that together. Sentence openers do not have colors. Instead, they have numbers. Now, this is the section from your checklist, and you can take a look at it, and you can see here we have paragraph 1, 2, and 3, and then we have these numbers listed beside the openers. We have 1 for the subject opener. That's the boring one. He ran to the store. That's the subject. 2 is your prepositional opener. 3 is the ly opener, which we haven't learned yet. 4 is the ing opener, which we haven't learned yet. 5 is clausal. 6 is very short sentence. And I did talk about the very short sentence briefly. These numbers are what you will use to mark your sentence openers. So let's look at the next slide. Notice there is a 3. Actually, that's the wrong number. Let's put a 2 there, because the prepositional opener is a 2. So Mrs. Jernigan made a mistake. If you look back at the chart, prepositional is number 2. So we are going to put the number 2 in front of a sentence when we are going to use it that way. So let's, once again, cut and paste just for practice. We're going to put under the couch, the cat slept. I put the number 2 in front of it, so it's a prepositional opener. Let's fix this one. We're going to cut this, put it in front. In his habitat, the tiger ate steak, lucky tiger. There's my 2 to indicate that that's a prepositional opener. And then we will do the last one. We're going to put it in front of Mom. On the grill. Sorry about that. Mom cooked dinner. So you use the number 2 to put in front of your prepositional opener. What number do you use if you're going to use the subject and verb? The number 1. But let me just say here, you do not have to put a number 1 in front of every subject verb. Just one in a paragraph. Just one of the prepositional. It gets very hard to read when you've put a number in front of every sentence. And when you get a little bit older, we won't make you do those numbers when you get to high school. So let me show you what this looks like in a sentence or in a paragraph. We're going to add the prepositional phrases to my original paragraph, and I am putting in numbers here. So the boy walked to the store. That one's just a subject verb opener. It's fine. I could put the number 1 in there if I wanted to make sure my teacher saw that I used one. And then at the store, he bought milk and cheese. Notice I put my number. I have to fix it. And he paid for the milk and cheese. He walked home a different way. It's okay to use the word he. Just try to find other things that you can use. Then I had to change these completely. Through the forest he walked, but he became scared. Through is a preposition. So I'm highlighting that he walked through the forest, but remember he became a little nervous when he did that. He hurried to get home. He finally got home, and I pointed out that this could be a very short sentence. So we could put the number 6 in front of that. So remember, when you are doing your writing from now on, you're going to have to think about the way you are starting sentences. And you need to make sure that you are adding variety, just like you do with your dress-ups. So I want you to try in your writing this week to use 2 prepositional phrases in what you are writing. And they're going to become at the beginning of a sentence, and you will put the number 2 in front of them. So make sure that you pull out this little diagram and remember that. I will actually post it so that you can remember the different numbers. But we're mainly working with numbers 1 and 2. So make sure you remember that. Have fun trying your sentence openers.